Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Asim. I'm working as DevOps engineer. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how we can set up the Nginx Ingress controller on AWS EKS service, right? So let's begin. So what I've done, I've created a repository for you guys, and we are going to follow all the steps and we are going to deploy the Nginx Ingress controller. And one thing I would like to share with you guys, by default, if we spin up by using these commands regarding the Helm, for instance, by default, it is going to spin up the classic load balancer, which is not recommended because this classic load balancer is deprecated and we should be using the network load balancer, and for that particular load balancer we are going to use specific values.yml. And regarding the configurations of values.yml, I would like to use ChatGPT, and I do recommend to uh, use ChatGPT. For instance, if you want to learn specific um, areas of this configuration file, for instance, what is compute full forward. Simply, what we are going to do, we are going to use ChatGPT. For instance, what is Nginx controller proxy body size 0? So I'm going to simply copy this guy and I'm going to ask ChatGPT regarding the detailed demonstration of all the uh, values which are actually mentioned in this configuration file, right? So I'm going to put that and it will give you a detailed demonstration, for instance, what the Nginx controller is and what is the proxy body size directive, specify the maximum size of the client request body that Nginx proxy will proxy to the upstream server. A value of 0 means that there is no limit to the size of the client request body that can be proxied. However, setting the value 0 is generally not recommended because it can leave your server vulnerable to denial of services, service attacks, right? So, you can, if you want to learn all the details, simply it's not possible for me to, share all the details regarding what which directive do what. But as ChatGPT is there, you can use this powerful tool to learn and use in your daily tasks to, learn the best practices. And I think ChatGPT is a very powerful tool, so that is why I've added here. And regarding that, you can get more detail. But some of the stuff I would like to share, for instance, service monitor. I've not set up configured the Prometheus, so I set it up to false. We are going to use network load balancer. So guys, this is the basic stuff I would like to share. And now what we're going to do, I'm going to simply use the command with the Helm with regard to the network load balancer. But some of the stuff I would like to share, for instance, these are the specific links where you can get all these commands, and I would like to open these commands. So everything regarding the commands are available. You see, this is the Nginx values.yml, and for instance, this is the public repo. You can navigate to this repo, read all the instruction, and if I navigate to this section, simply chart ingress controller, what command to use. You see what you need to do. Simply copy this command, add this repo, add repo update, and the rest of the structure instructions I've already added in my README MD. So if you see this command, this is the basic command. For instance, if you are using GK or AKS, so by default it is going to spin up the load balancer. So but in AWS, as per my suggestion to you guys, that we should be using network load balancer. So with Nginx, it will be work like as a layer 4 load balancer controller. So let's begin. What I've done, I've already imported my cluster and deployed via Terraform. So if I do kubectl kubectl get nodes, you will see the two nodes, right? and we are going to use the Helm command to deploy it. So, but if I do ls here, so let me simply first of all clone this repo. So first of all, let me cd into mnt, and I just want to clone this guy, right? I'm going to clone this guy to, this is the public repo, and I'm going to clone this guy, right? And then I'm going to seed into this particular Nginx Ingress controller, right? So let's me just cd into this, and if I do ls, and if I do navigate to Nginx Ingress, you will see that the values.yaml, which we have already discussed, right? So, okay, in fact, let me simply do cdmnt, and values.yaml is already there. So that is fine. So this is the values.yaml, and I'm going to use, first of all, I'm going to follow all the steps which I already mentioned. So as I discussed, you need to add the repo, but okay, let me navigate to the charts. So I just want to show you all the commands are already there. So what we are going to do, simply navigate to that particular chart and follow the instructions. So I'm going to add this particular repo, that is the exactly this is exactly what you need to do. So simply let me remove the G from here. So I'm going to add this particular repo as it is already existed, but I just want to show you the demo. So you need to follow these steps. Helm repo update, right? And then what we are going to do, we are going to do one thing. We are going to install, and to install that particular guy, we are going to use the command. Let me show you what you need to do. So we can do the first of all do the dry run, and um, okay. So if I do Helm repo list, so this is the one which we are going to use ingress in the next slide. And if I simply search it, it will show me the latest version 4.5.2, and we are using this version, right? You can simply update this, but it is totally up to you. Uh, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to first of all dry run. It is not going to actually install the uh, install this chart, but it is just a dry run command. This is something which will show that it is going to do all the stuff, but it is quite a lot of stuff going on. So even if you want, you can put the output into a directory, and simply you want to do that. But what we are going to do, we are going to simply use the Helm install command to simply install it. But if you want, you can simply use this command, and it will spit out the output of that particular directory. If I do ls here, you will see that output of which I've already run in my previous testing. So it will actually spits out all the templates. You see all the controller admission webhooks are already there, right? So okay, and in that particular values.yml file, let me show you the stuff. So okay, this is the actual complete file, which is the main repository. It's quite a lengthy file, but we actually are going to override some of the values which I've already shown you, and regarding that detailed information you can set up, see from the chat GPT, right? So and we are going to use the ingress class name, which is going to be Nginx, right? So let's try to use this particular command to simply install it, and this time we are going to simply install it with this command, right? Although you see, I'm directly calling the repo here. So if you have not even added the previous command, so it is going to directly use that particular repo and do the installation. So it is installing it. So what I've done, I've actually imported my cluster here, and um, you will see shortly the namespace is going to be available, and the namespace is going to be with this particular name, ingress name, although it is not there. So we are telling here to create a namespace. So it will be shortly available. You see Nginx Ingress. If I navigate to this section, Helm, and if I click this guy release, you will see shortly that the release is going to be started. So as this is just a two node cluster, let me show you that the nodes two node cluster. So I do highly recommend in production you set up the daemon set to be two. If you navigate back to the values.yml, so we are using the replica count to one. So you should be using at least two, right? So our clusters are actually ready, and you see the Nginx is actually installation. Nginx controller uh, is in progress, so we have to wait for a while. It will take some time. So you see 70 second has been already passed, and we are going to deploy the particular controller. So it will take time. I have to wait for a while, you see. So guys, after 2 minutes, one job has been deployed by this controller, and after that particular job is successful, if that particular job is successful, it is going to launch that particular replica set. So you see one deployment. So currently it is not up and running. So you see the status is yellow, now it is green. So it is deployed, and our Nginx controller is running. You can simply check the logs, simply navigate to this section, and you can see the logs regarding that. And if I navigate to the releases section, it should be saying shortly that uh, it is deployed. You see the time it takes, so you have to be patient regarding that. So it is still in progress. If I show you the command line, you see it is saying still installing. So see one pod, or in fact the deployment is available and running. So if I navigate to the releases section, so you see this is the time it will take. So guys, it take 4 minutes and 30 seconds to get deployed, and if you see it has been deployed. Now what we are going to do, um, we are going to create one application. So I just wanna tell you that you don't need to actually use my YAML file. So what we are going to do, I'm going to show you how you can use the Helm. You simply need to install the Helm, and I mean you can install the latest version of Helm. So then once you install the Helm, it is just a script. I mean simply navigate to the Google and type in the Google um, or in the Microsoft search bar Helm installation, right? So simply type that and navigate to this URL. It will provide you the script. So I've already installed it. You have to simply copy paste these three line and it will install the latest version of Helm, which is this one, 311 dot. So that is it, right? So now what we're going to do, I'm going to say Helm create hello, right? This is my application. So what it does, it is also create an ingress for that for your application as well. So let me show you the stuff. So if I simply open this in my VS Code, right? So if I navigate to this section, hello, this is our application, right? And if you navigate to the charts and in the templates, right, you will see service account, service.yaml, ingress.yaml. So we are not going to go all in the details. Simply you need to navigate to this values.yaml and you need to simply update the values. For instance, let's say I want to use the replica account 3. Instead of Nginx, I'm going to use my public image, I mean, which is, okay, let me type it quick. It is updating. Let it do that. Okay. It is QuickBooks 2018. QuickBooks 2018 and slash green, right? And the tag is going to be latest. You need to simply update these values. You see, I mean, use that particular command, update the values. Then I want to use the ingress. Let's say this is the service and the container port of your if your application is running on I mean, some if you want to run on different port, you can use that, but we are going to leave the default setting for this demo. For ingress, I'm going to simply type this instead of false, simply type true. It is ingress is going to be available, and then leave the TLS settings and auto scaling. Let's say I just want to enable, let it say true, and simply move this 100 to 10 replicas, right? And the Nginx class name, ingress class name, we are using the Nginx controller. So Nginx class name, I've already showed you, we are using the class name Nginx, right? And the host, let's say app.cloudgeeks.ca, right? So let's try to simply run this. I mean, okay, to run this, what you need to do, you don't need to remember the command. So to install the application, you see, I did all the instruction here. So what we are going to do, first of all, we will take the dry run and where we are, you see, this is the our I mean main mounted file. So this is the Helm template, hello values.yaml, and I'm going to add this in the namespace app and let's try run. So what try run is gives us an output, right? And this is the output. For instance, it will also create an ingress. You see, this is the image we are going to use, and even in the ingress section, you will see because we have enabled it, you will see the name app.cloudgeeks.ca, right? So let's try to deploy that particular application. So we are going to use this command. So simply what you need to do, we need to copy this command and simply use this command. And what it does, it is going to install it in the namespace app. If you see the namespace app does not exist, what it does, it is going to create the namespace app, pull the image, and you see it is currently Helm chart. It is going to install it. So this is the deployment, and it is running, right? This is the application, right? So as I'm in the container, let me navigate to the section in the application, sorry, in the EC2 section, load balancer. What it does, it is going to provision. So It is going to provision the load balancer. So simply refresh the page. So you see load balancer is loading. So let me do that. You see, in fact, the load balancer is active, and regarding the command, you can see even you can use get ingress classes. You see, we have two ingress classes, ELB and Nginx. So if I do kubectl get ingress in namespace app, you see, this is the app.cloudgeeks.ca, but I've not added any entry in the domain. So what I'm going to do, let's try to simply ping this guy. This is the endpoint of the network load balancer. So it will give me an IP. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this guy. I'm going to update my etc host file. As I don't have, for instance, access of this domain, or I don't want to make a DNS entry, I'm going to put this IP and I'm going to add this app.cloudgeeks.ca, and I'm going to save this entry, right? And as I'm running the stuff in my container, and if I navigate to app.cloudgeeks.ca, okay. So as it say, it is not resolving because I had to make this entry, okay, because in my Cloudflare it is the redirection is available. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make one entry. Let me do that, and I will be back with you guys shortly. So, guys, as I discussed, redirection is enabled at my Cloudflare account. So, what I'm going to do, simply I'm going to add this entry, right? And as I added the entry in my etc local etc host file, so let's try to save it, right? And once it's saved, it will take some time to propagate, and we should be able to see shortly our application is going to be available. So till then, I'm going to pause the video. So guys, if you see, propagation will take some time, and our application is up and running. So this is the way we can use the Nginx Ingress controller, right? That is it from my side. And if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel, right? And have a nice day. Thank you.